Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back from the Night Radiance to the channel. And today we have another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator. And today we are working on a Renault Clio V6. A very rare Clio, in my opinion. Or, well, it is a very rare one. Because the V6 version was pretty expensive back in the day. And still is. So I think you pay around 60 to 80,000 euros or dollars for one. So let's get this one repaired and let's see if we can fetch that much money for this one as well. So let's get it in the workshop.
The next day.
So here we are in the garage. After a quick wash and interior detail, we got the little rally monster on the hoist. And now let's see, what do we have? Well, we do have a very rusted body. And the engine is in the rear of the vehicle. That's why you don't have any passenger seats in the rear. Now let's get right into stripping this one down and then rebuild the engine and then rebuild the whole car. So let's get right into it. The Renault Clio V6 is a rear mid-engine rear-wheel drive layout hot hatch based on the Renault Clio launched in 2001. Designed by the French automaker Renault, the Phase 1 models were built by Tom Hovkinshaw Racing (TWR) in Uddevalla, Sweden, and Phase 2 were designed and hand-built by Renault Sport in Dieppe in France. Both variants were developed by TWR. The mid-engine wide-body concept of the Clio V6 were very reminiscent of the 1980s Renault 5 Turbo. Both road-going models were low-volume production, making them very rare cars. Alongside the road car, a circuit-only version was produced, known as the Clio V6 Trophy. This was a full competition car with sequential ZF gearbox, full roll cage, magnesium wheels and an engine output up to 281 horsepower. And there we have it, the fully stripped Renault Clio V6. Now let's get the welder right over here because we want a pristine car and not like this. Yeah, so let's get the welder on it. There we go, 1350 bucks. And there we go, we have a fully nicely repaired body. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now let's put you back because we have to get the engine up and going because we want a very nice powerhouse in this one. So we go with the standard engine because there are no swap options for this car. So it is a V6, but we definitely gonna upgrade it because we are going to put upgraded parts in it. So before we're gonna start, I'm gonna clean up some parts and buy some parts for this car. And then you're gonna see me building the engine. The Clio V6 Phase 1 is based on the Clio Mark II. Though it shares very few parts from the car, the 3.0 liter 60 degrees V6 ES9 engine sourced from the PSA group was upgraded to around 227 horsepower and placed in the middle of the vehicle where the standard Clios will have rear seats, making this a two-seater hot hatch. In order to accommodate the radical change from front engine front wheel drive hatchback to mid-engine rear wheel drive with two-seater Sequazzi Coupe, the car had to be extensively reworked structurally, leading to the Phase 1 version, some being 300 kilos or 660 pounds heavier than the sportier regular Clio 172 Cup. Due to this, even though the V6 model had significantly more power, it was not remarkably faster in a straight line, accelerating to legal road speeds than the 170 Cup, accelerating to 60 miles an hour in 6.2 seconds compared to the Cup's 6.7 seconds. Though its maximum speed was significantly higher, that was 146 miles an hour, that is 235 kilometers an hour, compared to the 138 miles an hour, the 222 kilometers an hour. The raw sound and weight of the V6 engine just behind the driver and rear-wheel drive made the driving experience very different from the normal front engine and front-wheel drive car. There were 1,631 Phase 1 production cars built in total between 2001 and 2002. And there we have it, the powerhouse of the Renault Clio V6. So now let's get this one over towards the car because we want to rebuild this beautiful rally monster. So let's carry it off the stand. Okay, it is not as heavy as the V8, but ooh, this V6 is heavy. Come on, we are almost there. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, this way. Come on, get it over. Oh, come on, almost there at the car. Yes, okay, put it on the crane and install. Ooh, okay, the engine is in, good. Now let's put you back, awesome. And ooh, look at this shiny block in here. Wow, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. compact engine, well, compact engine, it is compact in the game, but for a compact car it is a very big engine. So let's get right into rebuilding this one up and let's see what we can do with this one. Let's see. At the time of its launch in 2003, the upgraded Phase 2 Clio V6 was the most powerful serial produced hot hatch in the world with 252 brake horsepower, exceeding the Alfa Romeo 147 GTA with its 247 brake horsepower and the Seat Leon Cupra R with its 222 brake horsepower. So if based on a utilitarian hatchback, the Clio V6 is not a practical family car. With an average fuel consumption of 24 miles per imperial gallon or 12 liters per 100 kilometers, this resulted in an empty fuel tank in just over 300 miles or 480 kilometers. The loss of its back seats and most of its boot space due to the engine placement results in a severe restriction in luggage space. There's only a small space in front where the engine used to be, suitable for a hold all or a week's end groceries. A small netted area behind the seats plus a small stash under the tailgate. The enhanced steering makes the tight maneuvering a little challenging. The turning circle is 13 meters or 32.7 feet around 3 car lengths. Turning what might normally be a 3-point turn into a 5-point turn circle. The Clio V6 Phase 2 gained an even more weight but offset it with an additional 80 horsepower. This resulted in a reduced 0 to 60 miles an hour run at 5.9 seconds and a top speed of 153 miles an hour or 246 kilometers. Standard equipped including a rain searing windscreen wipers, automatically headlights, air conditioning and 6-speaker and CD changer. The Phase 2 Clio retailed for £27,125 in the United Kingdom, until it was withdrawn from sale in 2005, coinciding with a facelift for the Clio range. The long-term reviews in the Evo magazine were enthusiastic, claiming it's a modern classic for the Phase 2 version. Jeremy Clarkson once referred to the Clio V6 as one of his top 10 cars. There were 1,309 production cars built between 2003 and 2005 of the Phase 2 Clio V6. And there we have it, the fully restored Renault Clio V6. Well, this rally monster is ready to basically let the dyno scream for its life, because I want to know how much power this is gonna make. So first we're gonna do a wheel alignment and headlight alignment, and then we go towards the paint shop.
5 minutes later.
So we have arrived in the paint shop. Now let's see what kind of beautiful color we're gonna give this car, because I don't think it looks nice in the blue, but I don't think it is supposed to be a blue car. So let's see, what can we do? Well, Renault had some very nice color options for this car, but unfortunately we cannot see them here in the list for factory colors. So we do have to make them ourselves. So we had a nice yellow. I think a color was yellow, very cool. We also had like a green. That looks also sick, but do we have like liveries and stuff? Yes, we do. So what are the liveries for today? We have the half yellow, okay. Half red. We do have the black striping, awesome, very aggressive. We have the gray / white striping. And we have, ooh, we do have a carbon hood. I like that very much. I think I'm going for that one, and we have none. Yeah, I'll go for the carbon hood for sure. And I think, ooh, the yellow looks nice, but I think this green, yeah, this green looks also very cool. Yeah, I'm going with the green for now, but we do also have pink. Yeah, the green looks very sick with the carbon fiber hood. Now, we do have a very aggressive car. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, a very nice rally monster. Well, I think I can also do like window tint, but I think that was back in the garage. So let's go over towards the garage for a little window tint.
1 season later.
So we have arrived in the garage for the window tint kit. So let's see how this works. Use. Okay, what do we want? Yes, we do want black. Ooh, that looks so cool. You know, a little bit lighter, maybe like 90%. Yeah, that looks sick. Okay, add. Well, where you can find this one is First of all, you have to purchase it, I think. I'm not very sure actually, I never used it, but it's here in the corner next towards the tire equipment. So don't forget to use the window tint because, oh, that looks way better. Now let's go over towards the dyno.
The next day.
So we have arrived at the dyno. Now let's see what this little green monster is going to make. Well, I've already added a 6th gear that is going probably up to like 388 kilometers an hour, and I also tuned the ECU for a maximum of 9%, so we do have a very powerful car. So let's see how much this is going to make. So we standardly make 264 horsepower at 7,130 RPM, and we make standard 312 Nm of torque at 4,500 RPM. And we currently make, okay, I'm very pleased with this number, very beautiful. So we currently make 480 horsepower at 7,160 RPM. That's an increase of 216 horsepower at a 82% increase of the factory power. And we also make 521 Nm of torque at 4,830 RPM. That's an increase of 209 Nm of torque at a 67% increase of the factory power. Now, those are some very nice numbers for this rear-wheel drive car, and I hope I can get this one steady on the test track. So let's go outside for a little sneak peek and a little engine rev, and then we go for a little test drive. Well, okay, it doesn't sound very good in my opinion, but hey, it's a naturally aspirated engine, so no turbos or superchargers, but still, it should make a lot of power on the track because it's a small car, a lightweight car, and a V6 engine with a lot of horsepower. So let's go over towards the test track to see how fast this one can go and if I can keep it straight. So we have arrived at the speed test track thing. Yes, okay, well, here it is, the green goblin. There we go. Now let's see how fast this one can go. And here we go. And we're off. Okay, it's torquey. Yes, okay, it is keeping steady. Nice. I'm not steering anything, just keeping down the throttle. Okay, 5th gear going 200. And it's probably gonna shift. Okay, I probably should have put the gear a little bit faster. I'm not very used to these gearbox ratios and that kind of stuff, so I still have to get used to that, but still it is pulling like almost 300 kilometers an hour, but we are already at the end, and 296 kilometers an hour. Well, that is with a badly tuned gearbox, so this will definitely go above 300. But now let's see. Yes, okay, so it is drifty and torquey because it is a rear-wheel drive car, but still, it actually goes very nicely in a straight, but yeah, it's not very meant for like cornering or that kind of stuff. Ooh, okay, you know what? You guys know enough for this one. Well, let's go over towards the garage for the final results, and I don't know if I'm gonna sell it because I kind of like this green little monster.
One season later.
And we have arrived for the final results from the speed test and the overall build. So we have a Renault Clio V6 on our hands, and I really like the car in real life. I'm not very familiar with Renault, but I kind of like the Renault Clio V6. I think it's an iconic car, a very mean car, but nonetheless, let's focus on this one for now. So we do have a fully 100% car. The body is 100%, the frame, the parts and the interior, very nice. And we currently have a very powerful engine which produces 480 horsepower and 521 Nm of torque. And we currently make a tune of 81.5% increase. That's a very nice number. Well, did we forget any parts? Well, probably not, because otherwise we do not have the parts 100%. So you can almost guarantee if the parts say 100%, you got everything. But the main question is, how much money can we make from this beautiful car? And that is... okay, very steady number. So we currently can sell the car for 139,214 credits. We can make an overall profit of a solid 131,039 credits. That is a very steady profit. Do we want to sell this car? I gonna let it up to you, because yeah, I cannot decide. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys should think we should do. Should we sell it or should we keep it? Let me know. Anyway, I hope you all liked this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. That would be much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on those notifications. That would be much appreciated. So if you have anything to say, tips, tricks, or just something you want to talk about, let me know in the comments down below. That would be much appreciated. And I will see you in the next video next Sunday. Peace out, everybody.